Alright, so we need to do an update on the affordable silencer options. Before I do this video, I have a couple of comments that I need to address in the last video. One, I am not a lawyer. I am not giving legal advice, nor am I offering legal advice. You should only take legal advice from a qualified lawyer. I can't tell you how many people commented in the last video like, why are you giving out such bad legal advice? I'm like, dude, I said like at least twice in that video, I'm not giving out legal advice. Number two, the other comment, you're a monster. You're just trying to screw everything up for everyone else. No, you're a monster because you're allowing these people, agencies, alphabet agencies, that's what we're going to call them, to classify things as a silencer and scare you away from buying them just because they resemble a silencer. Now, on to the video. If you buy one of these Chinese silencers, there is a chance it's going to be seized. So far, it's probably happening in California too. New York and Illinois are confiscating the incoming packages, and they send you this letter. Pause it and read it through yourself real quick, and then I'll actually keep it up here the whole time. So as we're going through the video, you can reference what I'm talking about. So what does this letter actually say? The whole letter is designed to scare the ever-living crap out of you. What it's there to make you think is that you just barely skated by catching a felony and spending time in Club Fed and getting this huge-ass ticket. So what does the lawyer... Again, I'm not a lawyer. Do not take legal advice from me. But what is this letter actually implying when you, read through it a couple of times? To the whiteboard of knowledge! Number one, they're calling it a restricted item. Number two, they give a definition of what a silencer is. Number three, they say it is not a silencer. Right in the letter, it says it is not a silencer. When you look at the definition, it says a device you can screw on the end of your barrel that will reduce the volume of the report. You cannot screw that on the end of your barrel and pull the trigger. Best case scenario, you just blow up your solvent trap. Worst case scenario, you blow up your entire gun. They cannot take that out of the package and screw it onto the barrel and make it reduce the volume of the shot. It still needs work. The second thing, it goes on to say that, I forget how it's worded, but basically parts intended to silence the firearm. For example, this is an oil filter. You can just walk right in the store and pick it up. No ATF requirements, nothing. Let's pretend you want to screw this on the end of your gun, which you can. You need to first engrave a serial number. Now, I don't know exactly the ins and outs of this. I just looked in it a little bit when that oil filter adapter first came out, because that was a big argument, does the adapter itself just need to have a serial number, or does the filter have to have a serial number? I couldn't find a clear answer, but it appears, or at least what the internet is saying, which who knows if that's true or not, because it's the internet, but yes, the oil filter also needs to have a serial number. Non-NFA item, if I screw this on the end of the barrel, it is now an NFA item. So it comes down to intent. If you intend to screw that on the end of your barrel, now it becomes an NFA item. So those parts are not a silencer because, one, you cannot directly screw it on your firearm and reduce the volume. It still needs manufacturing. Number two, they would have to prove intent. What if I was buying that for a BB gun? Even as a silencer. I'm going to make this a silencer, but it's going on my BB gun. I'll even permanently attach it just so there can't be any confusion. You don't need to have a registered silencer for a BB gun. What about a black powder gun? Now, I know there was a black powder company that made one. I don't know exactly what happened to it legally, but because it was permanently fixed on the black powder gun, it was qualified as a non-silencer because that is a non-firearm. What if I'm going to use it as a solvent trap? A non-silencer. So until they can improve intent that I intend to make it a silencer, which if you order one of these, you need to buy it with the intent to use it as a solvent trap, and later, if you decide you want to make it a silencer, then do your Form 1 and make it a silencer. So it cannot directly screw on a firearm, so it is not a silencer. Well, it can screw on, but it can't directly screw on and silence the firearm. Number 2, they would have to prove that you intend to make it a silencer in order for it to be a silencer. Alright, where are we here? Intend for use. That's what I was just talking about. Number 5, you did not break the law. They go in and tell you, if you would have got this, and it would have been a silencer, you would have been charged, and you would have spent time in prison. But we're not charging you. Therefore, you did not break the law. Because that's not how it works. If I get a pound of cocaine mailed to me, they don't go, oh, hey, we intercepted your package. Better luck next time. No, they show up at the actual procedure, because I'm in delivery, what happens, depending on the amount. If it's a large amount, what's going to happen is I'll deliver the package, the police will wait a little bit, and then they'll kick in the door and see if they catch you bagging it up or something. Because the package could come, like let's say I just had a package show up with marijuana or something like that. The package could come and I could argue in court if they bust me like right as I take the package. 1, that I didn't know who sent it to me or why they sent it to me. Number 2, if I would have had a chance to open the package, I would have called the proper authorities and had it disposed of, or I would have flushed it down the toilet. So they have to catch you with the intent to manufacture and deliver. Usually what they do, again, unless it's on a large amount, is they'll let a couple of packages come through. So you've accepted this one. Okay, you know, that might have been the wrong address. Maybe you just panicked and flushed it down the toilet. Now you've accepted another one. Still, you didn't call the cops. You didn't do anything about it. You didn't notify the post office, hey, I do not want to get packages from this address anymore. And then by the third one, like, okay, they're pretty confident that in court they can prove that you are intending to receive those packages. So then the postal inspectors show up, you get raided as you receive the package, and then you get your charges. They don't just be like, write you a letter, oh hey, we noticed you were getting a bunch of drugs mailed to you, so you probably shouldn't do that because these are the charges you could face. No, they want to get the charges. So if they could get the charges, if they were physically capable of charging you, you would have received the package and you would have been charged. So they're admitting you did not break the law. Number 6, in that letter they give you the option to fill out a Form 1. A Form 1 is to manufacture a silencer. So again, they're admitting they know it's not a silencer. Because otherwise, why would you need to get a Form 1 for a silencer? You would already have it legally registered to you and you would get it. And if it's a silencer and you did not do that process, well then we go back to number 4 and you would have been charged. So because they're giving you the option to get your Form 1, which is to manufacture a silencer, they're saying, yes, we know it is not a silencer, but we're not going to give it to you until you make our case for us by getting your Form 1, which is saying that you intend to manufacture it as a silencer, and then here's where it gets really sticky. So let's say we'll pretend Illinois intercepts it, because that's more realistic for me, because I live in Wisconsin. So Illinois sends me this letter. I'm like, well, screw them. They're not keeping my crap, so I go and get my Form 1. I go down there, they engrave my legally registered silencer serial number in it, and now they've just handed me a silencer in a state where silencers are illegal. And now I would have to cross state lines to get it home. So they are giving me the option to break the law to receive my package. Not only are they giving me the option, they are saying that is the only option. Because then they go on further. Oh, where are we here? Sorry, you gotta get a Form 1. A Form 1 is a manufacturing tax stamp to make a silencer. So again, they're admitting it's not a silencer because otherwise you wouldn't need a Form 1. 7, you can try to come and get it. They're basically like, you can try to come and get it, but once we got you inside of our state, now you're under our legal system, and well, obviously the judge is going to vote in our favor because you don't have the NRA or some other gun lobbyist company backing you up. So what's happening? Now, there's gotta be at least one lawyer in my audience. At least to see if I break the law at some point so they could be like, hey, I'm a longtime viewer, you know, you should buy my services. I believe that this is class action lawsuit. Just by looking at what's been popping up in my comments, you know, comparing that to the people that probably don't comment, and the fact that it may be happening in other states compared to my view amount, I'm willing to bet they've illegally seized probably somewhere around $1 million in people's merchandise without giving them their money back. So is this able to hit with a class action lawsuit? Because even in their letter, they're admitting on more than one occasion that they know it's not a silencer, but they're still taking your property because it looks too much like a silencer. And they don't want that. And they're doing some sort of crusade against it. Because otherwise, they would come for you. And you wouldn't need a Form 1 if it was a silencer. Because it would already be a silencer. So therefore, it would have either never came into the country, or it would already be transferred in your name. But because they're giving you the option to do a Form 1 to manufacture a silencer, they don't actually say Form 1. Because whoever wrote this really knew what they were doing. But when you read between the lines, they're like, okay, you didn't actually break the law. Because if you did, we have the charges right there that you would be charged with. But we don't like this, so we're stopping them in our state. So is there some sort of law against intimidating people? And is there some sort of law against telling people to break a law to do something? Because you would be breaking the law. If you went there or you sent them your tax stamp number, now you have a silencer in a state where it is illegal, and you have to come and pick it up, so you'd have to cross multiple state lines, at least one, to get it. Anyway, so now we're past all that. I have a viewer coming in. He actually lives really close to me, where he bought a bunch of these and got his Form 1s, made them legally silencers, and we're going to test them, see how they work, see what the quality's like, and I'm buying up every single thing that everyone's saying that, oh, if you buy this, the ATF will fast rope in from the ceiling and flashbang you and kill your dog, just to prove that that ain't going to happen. Several things. Muzzle brakes that could be considered a monocore. I'm going to buy these solvent traps. Like I said, the Chinese ones are being intercepted. For some reason, the American ones are still going through. Now, there was also this American company that got shut down. They did a report on their main page. But when I was Googling them, trying to find out exactly what they were selling, the only thing I could find were these images, which it looks like they're selling a cylinder with end caps. Maybe the images of what they used to be selling got removed. I don't know. So if anybody could fill me in on that, was it just that particular state that didn't like the way they looked, so they went and shut them down even though they weren't breaking the law? So anyway, you got to order an American solvent trap if you wanted to show up at your house, because the way shipping works, almost everything comes through New York or Chicago or California at some point. And if these states are doing their own little crusade against it, even though they're illegally seizing people's property, it doesn't matter. They're still going to stop it. And are you really going to go to bat for $40? Like I said, I feel like this is class action lawsuit level, but I don't know because, again, I'm not a lawyer. But anyway, so I'm buying up all those things. The muzzle brakes that look like monocores, the adapters. I went to Walmart and got an adapter that's 1/2 by 28 that on the other side of it, it could technically take an oil filter. The problem with a lot of this stuff is, though, is that I'm never going to use it. So the cost is kind of killing me and slowing this whole process down. Because I'm literally going to buy this stuff and just throw it in a box. I'm buying it just to buy it to show that you can buy it. So it's going to take me a while to buy them all up. But like I said, the good news is I have a viewer coming in that already has a bunch of Form 1 very cheap silencers. We'll do all the testing on that. We'll give the update, what I'd recommend. And remember, when you're going to order this stuff, you got to order from American companies, because otherwise your stuff is going to get seized. And until some lawyer goes up to bat and gets a class action lawsuit rolling, if they can, again, I'm not a lawyer, the Chinese stuff is just being seized. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you'd like to help support the channel, I got my Patreon. I got some links up here of some other videos if you'd like to check them out. And I also have affiliate links down in the description below. Just by clicking on that link and doing your Amazon shopping you were going to do anyway, I get a little kickback for it because you went to Amazon for my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.